is sponsored by Sierra Treasure. Sierra Treasure is where I get my knob pine cones from, and let me tell you, this is by far the best quality knob pine cones I have ever received. Every single pendant turns out to be spectacular because of these cones. When you slice it open, you ain't gonna find no holes, no molds, no rot. Perfect quality pendants, ready to be made and ready to be sold or wear. The best part is that you have so many options to choose from. You can either go with big or small, yellow or gray, tall or skinny, you name it, they got it. Be sure to go check out Sierra Treasure. The link will be in the description. Hey, what's up guys? It's your girl Ben, and in this video we're going to be doing something very big. Something not easy, it's not hard, but it's not easy. It's very time consuming, and if you don't have the patience to make this project may not be for you, and it's okay. We're going to be making a Coulter Pinecone pendant. Don't know what a Coulter cone is? Basically, it's the biggest pine cone Mother Nature has ever created, and let me tell you, it's huge. In my opinion, I think this is the most dangerous project you can make because it requires a lot of resin, and by the time you're ready to slice it, guess what? You can't slice it with the bandsaw, because if you try to do that, you're gonna break the blade and possibly hurt yourself. You need to do it with a big saw. You can do this with a chainsaw, but if you want to go straight down, you're not gonna get that result with a chainsaw. Slicing it is by far the most difficult part out there, period. So before I show you how it's done, what it looks like, to leave a like and subscribe for more pinecone videos like this, because I'm the only person who's willing to talk, and I'll be more than happy to show you how everything is done. Okay, so what we're gonna do now is fill in the holes with this. This actually came out really good. There's honestly nothing I can fill in except for this small little part right there, but it's really not a big deal. So I'm not gonna show you this part with this cone specifically because look how good this came out. This is the perfect cone I got. Unlike this one, huge gap right there and a lot of holes everywhere. Yeah, this one's gonna require a lot of work, but it's okay. I'm gonna show you how to do it. So, this is the UV resin brand I'm using. To be honest, I guess this is the brand. Yeah, I can't really explain this part well to you. But what I can tell you is that UV resin plus this UV resin light equals hard resin. How does it work? I don't know. Science, magic, mixed together. Fill in the cracks right here. I like to start small and then go big. Why? It's because so I can forget about the small stuff and focus on the big stuff because last time when I did this off camera, it was good and all except for the parts when I missed the small spots, and when I sliced it, it did not come out so good. All because I missed the small spots, so that's what I'm doing right now. I know you're supposed to hold against the UV light with the UV resin a lot longer than I am. Don't worry, I have a huge UV light right here. I don't know if you can see that well. Yeah, I'm just gonna set that out for like over 20 minutes or so, so I'm not too worried. I already know it's gonna be hard by the time it's done. Now I'm just gonna put a lot. Now capture all of them before it goes away everywhere. Depending how, make sure you turn it around like every 10 minutes or so. You can't just leave this UV light right here and expect the other side to get dry because you gotta move it around to like up here, there, everywhere if you want this to turn out good.
First, before, or you want to leave the other one?
You best believe it. All of this right here is completely sliced up. As you can tell, it's still a little wet. I need to take a big advantage of that. Because it's a little wet still, I have a huge advantage. I need to fill this up with resin before it's too late because once it's completely dry, it's gonna start opening up and that's the last thing I need. Okay, so in this section right here, I have 14 Pinecone Coulter pendants that came out really good. There is some adjustments I'm gonna do, like, you know, fill in the holes right here, but all 14 right here came out pretty good. I'm really happy about that. Unlike over here, there is 9 that needs to be fixing. Like for example, this is a little too thin, so what I'm gonna do is put some UV resin to make it stronger so it doesn't snap off and break. Same over here, it's too thin. I'm gonna make this a lot thicker with UV resin, and I'm going to use some colorful powder to hide it so it doesn't look not so good looking. Okay, this needs to be sharpened up a bit. I'll show you what I mean by that. This piece broke off right here. I need to do whatever I can with UV resin to fix this. All this needs some type of adjustment. So when the wood starts to dry up, this is what's gonna happen. It's not too bad. It's not that much of a big deal. If you don't want any cracks, if you want it to stay the way it is, please make sure you cover the whole Pinecone pendant with regular resin because that keeps it from cracking. If you leave it open like this, it's gonna crack, crack, crack. Eventually, it will break like Tyrone the Crackhead from Dave Chappelle. So as you can see, and as you can tell, I went a little crazy with this. Basically what I did right here is, all I literally did is fill in the holes around that. So I figured, if I can't show you all of it right here, and this one has a lot of holes, so just go around with the popsicle stick, fill in them holes. Don't worry if you put in too much because there's no such thing as putting too much. This part is optional. It's not really necessary. I just do it because of the heck of it. I just go around the thorns so I can have that decorating, cool, sick look around it. Okay, it's the next day and look how this came out. It's completely dry as you can tell, and all the holes that have been filled in for the most part. These are good to go. Unlike these ones, I have to do the other side because, you know, the other side still have a lot of holes to be filled in. For the other side, I decided to add hot pink. Because, you know, blue and pink is my signature colors, so why not add it to these pendants? This is an example of what it looks like when it's 100% filled in. You might be thinking, Ben, what about this crack right there? Well, don't worry about that crack. It's okay. That's the only exception because I can just sand it down and you won't even notice it because it's gonna go away. How do you know that if you only cover one side with resin, how do you know it's not gonna open, or how can you be so sure it opens? Well, look at this. One side is filled, the other side isn't. Gee, I wonder why this crack is right there. Oh wait, it's because I did not fill it in. See, look, this is a perfect example. This is why it's very important to fill in both sides. So now that both of these sides is completely filled with resin and you decorated the sides however you like, you're ready for the sanding machine. Now it's time to print out a design. If you don't know the step, watch my other videos on how to make a pinecone pendant. In those videos, I explain a lot more the meaning behind these Cricut Explorer Air 2. Okay, now that you pick a design, my design is Odessa, can't go wrong with them. It's now time for my favorite part, apply UV resin. Me personally, I like to start on the edges and then fill it up from the inside. That's just me. Do it how you like. Once you completely fill this up with UV resin, put it underneath the UV light and let it sit, let it dry. Pay attention to the reflection. Notice how there's no bumps, no nothing. If your pendant doesn't look like mine, then I don't want anything to do with you. So, no, I'm kidding.